Again, earlier we talked about the three most common texts found in ninjutsu. You have the Ninpo, right? We have the Shoninki, written by Notori Masatake, right? There's the four books of the Shoninki. Yeah. And we also have the Bansenshukai, which is just a massive amount of text. Okay, the Bansenshukai is huge, right? So between the Bansenshukai, the Ninpo, and the Shoninki, that's where most scholars study to look at the history and the truth of ninjutsu. You gotta know the territory, you need to know the side roads, you even need to know the areas around the city you're going to. It's top to finish, how you're getting in, what tools you're using, what time you're getting out, what you're getting, and how long it's gonna take for you to get back. Everything has to be known. You're gonna have to go back and forth between Inen and Yonin, respectively, to be able to carry out the mission. You're usually not gonna just do one. You're gonna have to understand how to use both. Because if I'm on the windward side, if here's the enemy camp, and the wind is going from here to here, if I'm on this side where the wind is, the sound is gonna travel. The wind is gonna make my sound travel this way. The smell of my body is gonna travel this way. You never wanna be on the windward side, where the wind is gonna take the sound, the smell, all that way. You catch what I'm saying? You wanna be on the downwind. When you guys hear some of these things that I talk about, the essence of ninjutsu or the art of ninjutsu or what ninjutsu is, what ninjutsu isn't, set of skills this ryuha, that ryuha, this philosophy, this strategy, this principle, these tactics, whatever it is that we're talking about within the martial arts, I think it's very important that you guys need to realize what you hear and what you understand is your perception. And that perception can only be understood or defined in your brain, in your reality, by your perspective. So if you've only trained in the arts for, say, 5 years, 10 years, something like that, there's only going to be, you can only understand what you know and what you can relate, what you're hearing, how you can relate that to what you know. Because if you're hearing something that's totally foreign, you're not going to understand it. There has to be knowledge, and then you acquire new knowledge, and you relate those things together. That's what you get your understanding, right? So if you've only trained, say, someone who's only trained like a couple months or a couple weeks, and then they come to a stealth camp and they start hearing me talk about the Bansenshukai or the Shoninki or the Ninpo or something like that, it makes it very difficult for them to truly understand the weight of what I'm talking about because they don't have enough knowledge to back up the information that I'm giving. So their perception of what's going on isn't going to be the same as, say, maybe like Chafin or Dupree, who's been here for, both of them, almost a decade. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a long time hearing me talk about ninjutsu. So they're going to understand their perspective and on ninjutsu is going to be different because they've been here a decade than someone who's only been here, say, 6 months. But when we go back and we talk about like what ninjutsu is, what the kanji of nin means, what's the point and understanding of it, why do we use it, why do we train with it, why is it the essence of what we're trying to accomplish through our martial training, through Keiko? That changes as your perspective changes because your position changes, therefore your perspective changes, and once your perspective changes, your perception on that topic will also change. When we go through and we do these Kuden lessons, it's always good to go back and listen to them again and see if you can get one more thing that you didn't have before. The worst thing as a martial arts student is to hear the master talk about philosophy and understanding of something or the essence of something, and you hear the words and you don't know anything more than what you knew the last time you heard it, or the first time that you heard them talk about it. Because that means you really haven't broadened your perception. Your perspective is the exact same. And I know Chapin was here, when he was in his early 20s, and now he's in his 30s, and Dupree was here when he was in his 30s, and now he's in his 40s, and it's like, I know for a fact what they knew 10 years ago about the ninja was not the same as what they know now, right? So you just using those two guys as examples just because they're black belts. And hopefully all the students that hear me talk about certain things, even though I might talk about it again. Oh, she's made 4 videos on that topic. Well, I have, but if you're hearing it for the 4th time, do you get something different out of it? Because you should. And if you don't, you should ask yourself why. That in itself is this constant idea of learning and refining and creating friction, trying to really get deeper into the meaning of something. It's like, you can't sharpen a sword without applying friction, right? Same concept.